Hi guys, welcome back to G Chats with your host G in the G Spot. I'm so excited for today's episode because we are doing a reaction to some vaginal health trends. So there's always these like gimmicky trends that happen on social media, specifically TikTok, and my team put together a bunch of videos and they want me to react to them. I have not watched any of these videos, so I have no idea what any of these videos are about. So this will be my raw, honest, real reaction. I am going to, now I can't make promises, I'm filming this, but when I edit this, I'm going to try to overlay on the screen. So if you are watching, I want to overlay the actual TikTok so that you guys can see what I'm seeing rather than like just listening. So I'm gonna try to figure it out to the best of my ability. It might not be good. This is my first time ever like overlaying another video. I have no idea how this is gonna work. I'm gonna try my best. So please don't judge and hopefully it looks good. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started and get my reactions to these crazy vaginal health TikTok trends.
Welcome to Vabbing 101. Disclaimer, I did not come up with vabbing.
I don't know what vabbing means, so I'm already a little scared.
But I've been doing it for a week and it's been working out for me. So let's get into it. I know these are all common sense, but a lot of the commenters had me worried. So number 1, make sure you shower and or bathe before you vab. Number 2, wash your hands before you vab and of course after you vab. Number 3, if you go to the gym just like me, make sure to wipe down the equipment before and after use, which you already should be doing. That's proper gym etiquette. Number 4, the areas you vab normally are behind your ear and on your wrists. Those are normally surfaces that don't touch other things. So please make sure to not rub your ears or your wrists on other items and or people. Number 5, if you're on your period, simply wait. Simple as that. Number 6, if you have an STD and or a spreadable disease, please refrain from vabbing. And of course, if you have an unusual smell or any bad odor down there, please refrain from vabbing and of course, contact your doctor. You don't need a whole lot of your own scents and juices for a successful vab. Just a simple damp vab on your wrists and behind your neck will work perfectly fine. I'm still new to this and I don't know a whole lot, but vabbing is simple to do, and if you end up doing it, please let me know how it goes.
Oh my God. So I have no idea what vabbing means, but I think I gathered that people are putting their vaginal fluid on their wrist and behind their ears, like as if it were perfume. I opened the comments to like understand, and the top comment is, I am never hugging anyone again. Is this a big inside joke? Because no way. Please don't tell me y'all are using your pee juice as perfume. Oh my God. I have never heard of vabbing in my life. So I guess what I'm thinking, the pseudoscience here that I'm assuming they are probably talking, or why this became a trend, is because of pheromones. And vaginal secretions do have a compound that is similar to like a pheromone. And the thing is we are mammals. We are mammals and animals, if you will. And so scent plays a role in human interaction, but not the same way as like animals, because we have like communication, we have attractiveness, like looks matter, like all there's so many different, it's complex. Like humans become attracted to each other for like different, like even down to voice. Like people get attracted, like attractiveness is just more complex than, and humans rely on more things than just scent. And so the idea that like scent is going to attract mysteriously this person, and specifically because of the compounds within the vaginal secretions, is like, maybe I personally, like, I've never heard, this is my first time seeing this. So I've never heard of this ever being scientifically proven, but because we are mammals and we are animals, I can't say that maybe there's sort of a little bit of truth with the compounds in our vaginal secretion that could maybe help with like scent, but to say that this is like a pheromone, no. Like, I don't think there's proven science. It could be plausible, but it definitely hasn't been studied. And the only reason I say it's plausible is simply because we are animals, you know? But like, guys, like, the thing that I hate with pheromone talk is that pheromones are pushed in order to like get a man to be attracted to you or something. Like, guys, if odor is a thing like BO or whatever, there's other avenues to explore here than like putting your vaginal juices behind your ear, on your wrist, on the back of your legs to get someone to be like into you. That's like a step too far. And again, it's not proven in science to my knowledge. If anybody knows otherwise, let me know. But to my knowledge, that's not proven scientifically. So no. And like talking about going in public places and stuff, like, and also like another thing is that 84% of women have bacterial vaginosis and don't even know it because they're asymptomatic, meaning that they don't have itchiness, they don't have an odor, they don't have any of these things. So like, and it's not their fault, but like, so I think like we just shouldn't be putting our sexual fluids and body fluids like on our body externally and then like walking around with it. Like, maybe no. This was crazy. Vabbing. Okay, I've never heard of vabbing, but that is insane. Okay, video number 2.
This is how you make a coochie cocktail.
Let me show you how to actually make a coochie juice. So first you're gonna take your lemon and juice your lemon. I'm gonna juice this other half. Pour your juice lemon in here, okay? Then juice some spinach, lemon, parsley, ginger, and apple, and put it into your cup. Grab your fresh cranberries and put those on the top. You gotta eat those, okay? You need to eat these.
And this is a coochie cocktail.
Okay, so I always see like coochie cocktails and like the best kind of juice for the vagina and stuff like that. And so like the things that she put in here, spinach, ginger, lemon, like these are good things. Like this is healthy for your body, but there is a misconception that a simple juice can like alter your vaginal odor, your vaginal taste. The only thing that's altering your vaginal pH is the microbiome. The microbiome is what's responsible for creating odor, creating any kind of taste in your vagina and stuff like that. What's affecting that is the microbiome. And yes, food and what you consume influences the microbiome. So like this in general is very like healthy. So it can influence you to have a healthy vaginal microbiome because you have a healthy gut, consuming ginger, consuming spinach, consuming lemon. Like these things it's good for you. Eating cranberries, that doesn't directly influence the microbiome, the vaginal microbiome, but it could, if you're consuming raw cranberries, it could contain proanthocyanidins, which is the double bonded molecular structure inside of cranberries that you want, that actually attaches to the epithelial cells within the urethra and in the urinary tract, and it actually prevents uropathogenic E. coli from attaching and causing a UTI. So cranberries are great, more so for the urinary tract, not really for the vagina. So if people are like, oh, drink cranberry juice as a vaginal cocktail, cranberries don't really influence, like they're good for you. It's a berry, but they don't influence like the vagina. They won't influence smell. Neither will spinach, ginger, none of these things. They're not going to influence smell directly. It's not like, okay, so for example, there are vegetables such as asparagus. And I don't know if many of you know this, but if you eat asparagus, let's say for dinner, you in a few hours, your pee will have an odor. And that is because when asparagus is eaten orally and broken down through the digestive tract, it releases a compound that actually gets released in your urine. So when you pee for the next like 12-ish hours, you might smell like a very strong odor from asparagus. That is normal. It directly changes the odor of your urine, but it's temporarily changing the odor of your urine specifically because your body's breaking it down and like digesting it and getting rid of it. Like, it's not something that's like a permanent thing. Like, your urine isn't now like stuck in this odorous smell, or it won't smell like what it smells like after asparagus forever. It's just because your body's digesting it and breaking it down. So like with spinach, ginger, there's no evidence that this directly influences the odor of the vagina, but it does support the vaginal microbiome. So what we know in the vagina, what influences odor and taste is your microbiome. So if you're supporting a healthy microbiome, you're supporting good odor, you're supporting good taste, but you aren't going to magically, with any vaginal cocktail or mocktail, cause your vagina to like suddenly smell sweeter and taste sweeter. Like, just because fruits are sweet and you're consuming, like, this doesn't directly make your vagina taste sweet or smell sweet.
Have you ever tried perineum sunning? You know, where you get the sun where it doesn't usually shine. Safely, in the morning hours, of course. In only 10 minutes of perineum sunning, you get as much vitamin D as you would in an entire day wearing clothes outside. How's that for a vitamin D hack? Have you ever tried perineum sunning? You know, where you get the sun where it doesn't...
Okay, I've never seen this video before, but I have heard of perineum sunning, where people will, honestly, butthole sunning, where people will tan the perineum space, which is the space between the vagina and the butthole, or people tan the butthole because the belief is that this area of the human body can absorb vitamin D cells better than like every other part of the body. And that is just scientifically false. There are no photoreceptive cells or like extra photoreceptive cells in this area that absorbs vitamin D better than like the rest of your body. So like, this is pseudoscience. I will not be spreading my butt cheeks and tanning the perineum or the butthole to get my vitamin D in. You can get your vitamin D in by supplementing and safely going out in the sun. You can still get vitamin D even with sunscreen. So take that for what it is.
Okay, so I just want to explain exactly what's going on here for the girls, because I know that there are a lot of questions. Within this picture right here, what you're seeing is the purging process. Now, this lady right here tried out one of Pretty Kitty's Yoni Detox Pearls, and she did one pearl for 3 days. After those 3 days, she took out the pearl and she allowed herself to purge. Now, you see all of this that has come out? First off, this is a really, really great cleanse, because this is what all has been in her for Lord knows how long. Mind you, she has had children, multiple children, and all of the periods, the yeast, the mucus, all of this, everything has come out. Okay, so just imagine if this was in this lady right here, you can only imagine what's in you. So go ahead and get you a Yoni Detox Pearl today, because it's better out than in.
I have never seen anything like this, and I'm confused. What is in the Yoni pearl that just made somebody like detox all the scar tissue? I need to Google Yoni pearls. I need to see what's in them. She said leave it in for 3 days. This is insane. What the hell? This is a ball, like a net. Natural herbs wrapped into a mini tampon. It is a 3-day process that assists with cleansing and removing yeast, bacteria, toxins, old blood from the yoni. Okay. So I want to be respectful, because I do know that things like yoni pearls, vaginal steaming and stuff have been done in cultures for many, many years. So I don't want to be quick to just like dismiss like ancient rituals, ancient practices, and practices that are done in specific cultures. So I just want to get that out the way. However, this scientifically, from a scientific perspective is a little scary to leave a cloth with herbs left in your vagina for 3 days. That is insane because number one, the cloth is going to hold moisture, and holding this moisture essentially, like, for a lack of a better word, like, you could pretty much like build up like similarly to like mold. Like the vagina is constantly moist, or should be. And so this moisture is being retained within this cloth, and you actually are running the risk of a yeast infection with something like this, like with some kind of, like, I at first thought it would be a suppository that like dissolves in the vagina, but it doesn't. And you just don't need to detox the vagina. The vagina is self-cleaning, and what makes the vagina self-cleaning is good bacteria, lactobacillus, probiotics. That's what makes the vagina self-cleaning. So you don't need to self-clean with a Yoni pearl, with douching, with like getting your fingers up there and like cleaning, like loofahing the vagina. Like, you don't need to do that. The vagina cleans itself. It's an organ. It's supposed to regulate itself. It's the same way, like, do we open up our eyeballs and like wash our eyeballs every single day? Do we go and like cleanse our, like, okay, you rinse with mouthwash, but are you like going in there and like brushing your throat every night? Like, are you like, there's certain things, like, do you go up, okay, we all poop, is everybody going up their butthole and cleaning it every single night? Like, there's like, your body should be resilient. The goal of the human body is to always make it resilient to infections. And there are scientific ways that you can do that, such as taking probiotics. Probiotics have been shown clinically, scientifically, to be able to make the body resilient against infection. Your body is always going to come into contact with germs, with bad bacteria, bad fungus. But when your body is strong and has what it needs, the right defenders, a strong immune system, it's going to be able to ward off these bad guys. You don't need to detox. And I keep thinking of like leaving a cloth, that's like leaving a tampon for 3 days. You run the risk of toxic shock syndrome. So I just would not do this with like this netted cloth and these herbs and carrying moisture. And then you just have like moisture ridden like leaves. Like, just imagine leaving like a leaf in, again, if you have bacteria and stuff in your vagina, which we all do, we all have microorganisms in the vagina. If you leave a leaf to sit and get wet in the vagina, but also like be surrounded by all different microbes, like, you are literally breeding infections. You are breeding like scar tissue. You're breeding retained material. No, like, this is dangerous and this is harmful. Like, do not buy a Yoni pearl.
This is a crystal for your vagina. Yep, you heard that right. Let's talk about Yoni eggs. Yoni eggs are crystals that are inserted into the vagina and have a plethora of physical, spiritual, and emotional health benefits. Yoni eggs date back over 5,000 years ago to the royal palace of China, where women of royalty would use jade eggs to help harness their sexual power and help regulate their cycles. In the modern day, society has forgotten about the sacredness of a woman's yoni, and using these ancient practices can help women connect deeper to the divine feminine within. Some of the main benefits of using a yoni egg are that it can help balance your hormones, it helps increase libido and sex drive, it can help tone and strengthen weak pelvic floor muscles, it can help with deep womb healing, and also it can help increase our Shakti, divine feminine energy within. Yoni eggs come in a plethora of different crystals. The three most common are jade, black obsidian, and rose quartz. Jade is the OG yoni egg. This stone is very balancing and helps support well-being and self-love. Rose quartz is known as the love stone. This is deeply connected to our heart chakra, and it helps us remove blockages about giving and receiving deep love. Black obsidian is a cleansing and protecting stone. This connects us deeper to our root chakra, that of safety, and this could be really useful to help heal from sexual abuse or trauma. Remember to buy your yoni eggs from a trusted and authentic source. You want your crystals to be 100% pure crystal, not including any dyes or chemicals, to maintain the health and vitality of your yoni.
So, again, I don't want to be disrespectful to any cultures. I understand that certain things are done in different cultures, different ethnicities, and I get that. I respect that. But when we're talking about science, I think, so a yoni egg, and based on what she's showing on the screen, It could work as like a dilator. Dilators do exist to help people with vaginismus, help people with vestibulodynia, to help people with their pelvic floor muscles. So in pelvic floor therapy, yoni eggs, in specific, like the mechanism of a yoni egg is used with things called dilators. But my understanding, at least I've heard of yoni eggs before. And the thing is yoni eggs in particular, the stone itself, the jade stone, the rose quartz, the obsidian, they, especially if you want to buy like a very like authentic one, like a real one, they can have like sharp edges and stuff like that. So you do run the risk of like micro tears when inserting it up the vagina, and then obviously like toxic shock syndrome. And also these stones, especially when you buy them 100% like all natural, they're porous. And so when you're putting it up your vagina, which has many microorganisms, like it's a community of bacteria, both good and bad bacteria, the bacteria and the moisture can seep into this porous stone and it can harbor bacteria. So you could use it once and like try to clean it, but won't clean it properly. And then you put it up another day and it's just, it could be harboring bacteria, and like putting something that's constantly growing this bad bacteria up your vagina is not necessarily safe. I think for pelvic floor muscles, it could be great to heal any tension that you have, vestibulodynia, vulvodynia, vaginismus, all of those things. But I would maybe opt for a dilator if you are into crystals and you do believe in the connection spiritually to the heart chakra and things like that. You could use dilators, just because I'm very cautious of like what I recommend for people to put up their vagina. Using a dilator with like medical grade silicone or any other material that we know is not going to harbor bacteria is much safer. And maybe surround yourself with the associated crystal that you want. That's probably like a safer route when we're talking about the science of vaginal health and the vaginal microbiome. Okay, last one. I don't know which one to pick. Let's see.
Hey guys, it's the Yoni Gaia. Let me show you 2 ways to treat your yoni with garlic. You'll need coconut oil, fresh garlic, and a piece of string, preferably hemp string. You'll want to take your string and thread it through your piece of garlic. You can use a needle instead of a knife. The bigger the hole, the stronger it will be. You'll basically just make like a tampon with your garlic and then coat it with coconut oil. You can put as much coconut oil as you'd like, just to help ease the burn and help fight the infection. You'll insert this overnight or for 4 to 8 hours and then pull it out when you're done. Method number 2, you'll want to get your fresh garlic and chop it into small pieces. I'm using a mortar and pestle, but you can use whatever you have at home. Add in about a tablespoon of coconut oil and then mash it real good into a paste. Grab a pad and apply the paste into the middle of the pad. And same with this, you'll wear it for 4 to 8 hours or overnight.
So I have seen this before, and there are a lot of supplements that exist on the market that do contain garlic, and that is because of the allicin that's inside of garlic, because allicin does have antifungal, it's an antifungal compound, so it has antifungal properties, but the antifungal properties have been well studied for being taken orally. So we know that allicin does work by like chewing and going through the digestive tract. Putting it in the vagina doesn't necessarily release. First of all, okay, number one, the first way of inserting a raw garlic knob into the vagina is just not proven, because allicin is released upon breaking the garlic. So if you leave it whole, you're not getting the allicin, which is the antifungal property. Number 2, on the screen, it does say to help with UTIs. Your urinary tract system is not inside of your vagina. So like the urethral opening is when you open, like if you open the labia minora, the smaller lips, and you see the 2 holes, the vaginal entrance, and then that little hole at the top where your pee comes out. That's the urethra. So like if you went into your vagina, the urethra is not there. So like the garlic's not going to clear the urinary tract infection by putting something up the vagina. Like that, it's anatomically not there. Like it's not present. So that's like, because the butthole and the vagina are next to each other, if I put something in my vagina, I think it's going to help with my rectum. Like that's not how it works. The alternative is crushing it, which crushing it will release the allicin, the antifungal property, but you run the risk of like sitting on garlic can burn. The vagina is sensitive. The tissue in the vagina is sensitive. And so you can cause inflammation. You could damage the actual skin, the tissue that's along the vagina. And this can cause inflammation and cause burning and make you think that you're having an infection when you don't actually have an infection. Coconut oil may or may not help soothe that burning, but I almost would recommend something more like, if somebody did like a tea tree, something with tea tree oil, like I would maybe recommend that before the garlic, just because it's not like tea tree oil. We know is an antifungal. We know it is. It has to be diluted. But you could use tea tree oil just to maintain the balance of the fungus and honestly not sit on it for that much longer. Tea tree oil, when diluted in a carrier oil, can be a lot more tolerable than something like garlic. Garlic is just very harsh. And the smell is just super pungent. It's just very strong. So I would not do this. I would not be putting anything up your vagina unless it's a probiotic suppository, or it's like an antibiotic that you have to take, or it's boric acid when you have a biofilm, or vaginal estrogen, like a clinical reason that you need to do X, Y, or Z. Like, don't be putting these things. Don't be putting produce in your vagina. No lemons, no herbs, no garlic, no yogurt. Like, right idea, wrong execution. Like, alternatively, eat the garlic. Eat the garlic. That would be better. Get a garlic supplement. That would be better. But don't shove garlic up your vagina. So that is it, guys. There were more on the list. I can always make a part 2 if you guys enjoyed this one. But that was everything that was on the list. I wanted to make sure that I get through some of the ones that had a star from my team that they're like, you have to cover this and react to this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you guys so much. Let me know if you'd like to see a part 2 of this. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.